refuse to answer that question right off the bat. We just beat the number 5 team in the country by 11 points. And when you really, when you look at the last 4 teams that we played, I think all 4 teams were in the top 10. And this is a top 5 team. It's not easy to do. It's hard. And we just beat the number 5 team in the country by 11 points. And I couldn't be any prouder of our team and the way that our team played, especially in the fourth quarter. A lot of people question our toughness going into the offseason. Well, I mean, you have to watch the film and you make your decisions if you thought that team was tough tonight. And for us to win the way we did, I couldn't be any prouder. And we lost Jackson early on, and it was a struggle. Their game plan was to kind of hold on to the ball and control the game. And so there wasn't as many possessions, and we missed on a few things early, got off schedule. But to be able to get the run game going in that last quarter, man, says a lot about our team. And CJ Stroud was right well in front of that, made some huge plays down the stretch. And I think you can see who CJ wants to be. It isn't that he wants to go out there and have, all these yards and everything like that. That's not important to him. But important is winning. He's a winner. And to see him play like that and then see the offensive line and those guys run. But the story of the night was the defense. To turn around after what's been said about them in the offseason, questioning their toughness and play the way they did against a number 5 team in the country. I'm proud of our guys. And if we can continue to win games like that, then that's how we'll win games. And when you can win different ways, it says a lot about your team as well. And I think this game is going to pay dividends down the road. Now I'll answer that question. Yeah, it was a struggle early on. They're a good defense. They have a lot of seniors. And when we lost Jackson, we got a little bit out of rhythm. Didn't convert on third down. A little off schedule there with a couple of things, a couple of penalties that we got to clean up. But early games were a little bit clunky. And, again, losing Jackson kind of threw us off a little bit, and we had to respond. And how about Xavier Johnson showing up in a big way, making that catch, and then coming back the next play and running down on kickoff and making a tackle inside the 20-yard line. And, again, we're playing a top 5 team in the country tonight. And they're a very good team, and a lot of respect for them.
We'll go over to the left. Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Ryan, just one more on the receivers. In losing Jackson, I think it was more on Emeka and Marvin, and obviously that group to kind of show up a little bit. How have you seen just the chemistry with CJ kind of build over these last 9 months, and do you think it's where it needs to be, or is it still kind of a work in progress?
No, I think certainly CJ and Jackson have a great rapport and chemistry, but no, I mean he and Mecca and then Marv as well. We also didn't have Julian tonight. He was a game time decision. We couldn't quite get him going, so we were down some guys there. I thought the tight ends played well. Seeing Cade step in there, the running backs ran hard. The offensive line was strong. So we didn't have as many possessions. I'm not sure exactly what the number of plays were. I guess we ended up with 69 down the stretch, but didn't seem like there was as many possessions. But we did have the time of possession at the end, 32 minutes, and we ended up being 7 of 13 on third down. So I guess it all balanced out in the end, but it did seem like a struggle early on.
Over here to the right, Austin Ward, Rivals.
Ryan, before you watch the film, what do you think that the most impressive part of this defensive effort was tonight? You had to make a lot of changes. You were aggressive about that in the offseason. Is this match what you wanted, and what do you think was the best part of it tonight?
The 10 points. Yeah, I mean, for them to stop Notre Dame to 10 points, and I guess total yards was 253. Rushing yard 76. Yeah, I mean, I think it was the front guys running to the ball. I think you just saw what I was talking about leading into the game. Just energy, running to the ball, being decisive, playing fast. If they gave up a big play, it wasn't a panic. It wasn't like, oh my God, the world's coming into an end. They just keep fighting. Like the first play was, we brought a corner blitz, we missed a tackle, we hung in there, and then forced them to a field goal. There was no panic there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe last year we would have kind of put our heads down, but we didn't. I thought we played tough. I thought the energy was off the chart on defense tonight, and proud of our guys. Jim called a great game, the whole defensive staff, but it was our players. The players play, and they do. They have something to prove. We all have something to prove, and I think they proved that they can be tough. Now, we got a long way to go. We got a lot to build on. We got a lot to improve on. But for a first game, there's not a lot of first games where you play a top 5 team in the country right out of the gates. And I'm glad we played them at home because this crowd was awesome. And to see the support of Buckeye Nation for this game, leading up to this game, all the former players that came back, it was tremendous. to see all the people come to this game with such energy and be here early. I mean, the whole shoe was packed, and we were just coming out for warm-ups. And that says so much for our kids, and we can't thank Buckeye Nation and the fans and appreciate all the people that came to this game. It meant a lot to us.
Over to the left, Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
First of all, just quickly, do you have any indication yet how long this could be with Jackson or Julian?
We're going to evaluate them. We're hoping to get them back this week. Yeah.
And you mentioned getting the running game going in the fourth quarter, but early on in the game, there was a pretty stark imbalance the other way. So I guess just what were you seeing as the guy calling those plays that led to that dynamic?
Well, I felt like we just were kind of out of rhythm. We just couldn't quite put two plays together and then convert on third down. It wasn't going very well, and we missed a couple things early on, and probably went away to the run a little bit early on. I think we were doing okay in the run game. Just statistically, I looked up at one point, we were averaging, I think, 5 yards a carry, and so that was working. And they had nickel in the game, so they had more DBs in the game, and we had to rely on the run, and that's okay. And I could see more teams trying to do that where they force you to run the ball. They kind of want to control the clock and keep our offense off the field. And if we're able to win like this, then we can win different ways. Then that's going to help us out down the road.
I'm going to go over here to the right, Tom Archdeacon, Dayton Daily News.
That, Jerry?
Easy for you to say. Ryan, just a little more on Xavier Johnson, the way he's kind of stayed the course for you all these years and has a shining moment.
Xavier Johnson practices every day. Xavier Johnson really cut his teeth on special teams. He's kind of a throwback player. And for him to come in and play in that moment in this game right here, I just couldn't be happier for him, because it goes to show you that good things happen to good people who work hard. And that's exactly who Xavier Johnson is. And he was a walk-on. He earned a scholarship. And, he's really grown into a really good football player. And we trusted putting him in the game, and look what happened. So very happy for him. Well-deserved.
We're going to go over here to the left, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
That was a grinded-out win, and I can't remember the last time you won grinding out. Is there special satisfaction in that? And you had never been accused of being conservative. So what's your takeaway from winning a game that's very un-Ryan Day-ish?
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because we have to be able to win that way. We do. We have to find ways to win like that, because there's going to be games, certainly in the Big Ten, like that. Notre Dame's kind of built like some of the Big Ten teams we play. And so, for teams that want to run the ball and then, eat up the clock and keep the offense off the field, and we have to run the ball in those moments like we did, we had to do that. And that was something that we spent a lot of time on the offseason saying we have to be able to win ugly on offense, and we have to stop the run on defense. And that's what happened tonight. And so, they all count the same. You have to figure out, based on who you're going in, how do you want to win that game? And when you have that versatility, man, it's going to pay off down the road. And so this is a huge start for us. A lot to improve on, a lot to build on, but proud of our team. And again, I'll go back to CJ, because he was the happiest guy out there. And maybe it wasn't his perfect night, and everyone wants to talk about the Heisman Trophy and all that. He just wanted to go 1-0, and he did, and made some big-time throws. I mean, scrambling around. It wasn't pretty. Made the huge throw to X, and that was zero pressure off his back foot. And again, it wasn't perfect. It's not the way we drew it up, but we won. We were 1-0. And if we can continue to build like that and grow, and the defense plays the way it does, then watch out.
We're going to have two more questions for Coach over here to the right, Clay Hall, WSYX.
Ryan, was that toughness evidenced by Mayan Williams? You guys call him pork chop. I mean, on that game-clinching drive, he became a bull. Is that part of the toughness that CJ just told a national audience? We're a tough team.
Well, we wanted to be known as something other than just talented, and that showed tonight. That we can be. Now we have to continue to prove it. But yeah, I mean, the way Mayan ran, the way that Travion ran too in that last drive. I mean, they were running hard. They were determined. They were in that huddle saying, everything we've worked on, this is where we have to finish the game off right now. And they did it. So again, was it perfect? No, but I didn't expect it to be. First game, things like this kind of happen, and we have to kind of recalibrate a little bit and make some adjustments, but we will. Yeah, Mayan had a really good preseason. I think I mentioned that before, and so to see him run like this was great for him. How many yards he ended up with? I guess 84. Those were 84 hard-earned yards. He made the big catch too, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play on a scramble. And never mind.
And final question over to the left, Doug Lesmaurice, Cleveland.com.
Ryan, this is just along the lines of everything you've been saying with the toughness and the way you guys ran it late. I might phrase this wrong, but you guys have thrown it so well since you got here. And I know it's not easy. Sometimes it looks easy.
Sure.
You have super skilled receivers and a super skilled quarterback. Did you talk about winning ugly? Like, are you almost eager? I don't know if it's to shed that label or remind people or like what? Not that it's a burden to be great at throwing the ball, but it feels like you're really enjoying the fact that you won this way.
Yes. Yeah, because we can. And it's been a huge emphasis to win this way. And it starts with defense. And when you can play really good, strong defense like we played tonight, and we can run the football, we know we'll be able to throw the ball. We know that. But if we want to go where we need to be and reach our goals, we're going to have to do those two things. And tonight we did it.
Great.
So, yeah.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.